It
Yeah,
really
I
is.
can't believe that this is going to happen. For anyone that's ever been to the Magic Kingdom in their lifetime here in Orlando, it is going to look completely different because a lot of the iconic stuff that Walt put in that park is now being ripped away, and they just got all the approval demolition permits. So what does that mean? Magic Kingdom theme park will no longer be what it was. It's all changing now to IPs. It used to be like you got Adventureland, you got the Town of America, Tomorrowland, fantasy, all that stuff. But now they're demolishing a lot of stuff that was there from day one into something else. I'll show you. Even the Disney adults are not happy with this. So here it is. Breaking news: this is Drew. South Florida Water Management approved the permit for Magic Kingdom. They calling it expansion, but it's not an expansion.
It's not an expansion. They're
Yeah.
destroying iconic areas,
Yeah.
and this moves so far away from Walt Disney's vision. This is nothing. This completely is destroying Walt Disney's vision. Is what this is.
Yeah, 100%. And so if you don't know, the whole Tom Sawyer's Island, that whole area that's been there from day one, and the big steamboat that goes around, all that is all going to be ripped out and replaced with Cars Land and a villain's place where you can go see the villains of all the stories. They haven't given us too much detail, and a lot of people said that they'll never do this because they're not going to rip out Walt's iconic stuff and change it, especially when Magic Kingdom is still the number one visited theme park in the entire planet, right? Out of all the theme parks, the Magic Kingdom here in Orlando. But since the announcement of Epic Universe, Disney has been on like a crazy, like, we got to change everything. Over at Hollywood Studios, they're ripping out all the last thing that Jim Henson ever worked on.
Muppet
They're
Vision.
taking it all down, right? They're ripping it all down and replacing it. They're replacing a lot of other things as well. And this is what's coming. I mean, you can see some of the comments. Here's the permits that were posted that, hey, they could start demolition at any time now. Like you see some of the comments, they're like, I did not think they would, like, they're going to go through with it. And they're about to make the biggest mistake they've ever made to one of the most beautiful Disney parks in the world. Good Lord. You keep scrolling, like, people are just like, I can't believe, like, they're doing that. Funny how somewhere with all the space in the world to continually closing attractions before building on an empty space. Yeah, so they have the room to add these IPs at Magic Kingdom, but they decided that they don't want to use the empty space. So how is it an expansion if they're using the land currently occupied by Rivers of America, destroying the rivers, islands, riverboat, forts, caves, mills, etc.? The footprint isn't getting larger. This person says, horrible news. How did this happen?
How did this happen? You fucking allowed it.
Yeah.
All these fans that called all of us racist and sexist, and we were calling these fuckers out for all of these years. This is why. This is how this happens. They are terrible people. Bob Iger is a horrible person. The executives at Disney hate Walt Disney's legacy, and they have actively moved to destroy his legacy with every single decision that they have made for the past decade plus. And fans were calling this out a long time ago, and we were all dismissed as, we're just toxic, we're just angry, we're just trying to get clicks. No, they're actively destroying these things. Walt Disney World is one of the most iconic places in the entire world, and it had a legacy. And Bob Iger has systematically destroyed Walt Disney's legacy piece by piece by piece. And this is probably one of the final straws for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But this has been going on for a long time.
Right. It started with when they got rid of Splash Mountain and they started making changes, and people were just like, why? You don't need to change the park. People are still going to this park. You need to fix the rides that are constantly breaking down every single day so that they work. You don't have to change this park. They have other parks that need a lot of work and attention, but instead of fixing them, they're just going to demolish and build over. So this is the Rivers of America. If you've ever been on it, it takes you around Tom Sawyer's Island. And this is what this was made. This is what's going to cover it all up.
Oof.
So
Ooh,
That's what it's supposed to look like. Oh, it keeps going back and forth.
that is
So
so
it's
sad.
this is gonna be muddy. It's just basically places to walk around with a little cars ride here and a little section where you could go meet the Disney villains. What's crazy is in Hollywood Studios, they already have a place for the Disney villains. They could have easily put that over there without any problems. They could have put the cars ride over there in Hollywood Studios. They got plenty of space. Honestly, they don't have to tear down any of the Muppet stuff. That could stay there. They have plenty of room over there as well. But I don't know why they decide they're going to fill up the lake, take out Rivers of America. Probably are not going to bring back the Hall of Presidents and things like that as they change Magic Kingdom into parks of the IP. So like whatever IP movie came out, that's what they're going to change it.
Awful,
And not
awful.
really have theming. It's going to be a mess, and it is interesting to see the Disney adults that go to Disney a lot that just live at Disney World. Like even they are just kind of like, all right, this is way too much. We don't want this. We understand you're trying to compete with Epic Universe, but maybe just fix the rides that are always broken every time we show up. We reported over on Park Hoppin that it was just last week that half of Magic Kingdom, they had a little power problem over there. So 80% of the rides were broke down the entire day. And sadly, you don't get a refund if you show up because it's part of the ticket. If rides break down or something, there's a problem. Then we've also reported that Tiana's Bayou, Peter Pan, Haunted Mansion, and others are consistently breaking down every single day for hours on end. Sometimes Tiana's Bayou breaks down and never reopens for the whole day. So people are paying money to go to these parks, expecting to see the rides that they want to go on, and they can't experience it because they're broken down. So everyone's like, why don't you fix what's broken before you tear stuff down that people are already still riding? You know, like they're already riding and enjoying this. Why would you tear it down and build something else? But obviously Epic Universe has freaked them out. So they obviously, because they wouldn't be making these types of changes. And I mean, they said it'd be like almost $60 billion, I think the number was, of changes coming to their theme parks since the announcement of Universal's Epic Universe. So,
and yeah, like they did the same thing at Epcot. I used to love like Future World at Epcot, and you walk out there, where like Innovations was and all that, and it's just completely, it looks like Central Park or something like that in New York now. Awful. It's terrible.
It's
hate
all
it.
IPs. Yeah.
I can't stand it. And I love the Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot. I hate that it's at Epcot. I hate that it's there. It doesn't need to be there. It needed to be at Hollywood Studios.
That's the thing. It's like yesterday on Park Hoppin's live stream, we went over like just the simple theming of Epic Universe and how Universal's like homing in on everything is going to be themed. Everything's going to stay here. It's not going to be some kind of mess where everything is everywhere. It's like, well, if you want to see this, go here. No, we're going to keep it here, all the way down to the cups and food and the straws, even stuff like that. They're going to keep the theming. They're actually listening, to the people that enjoy the theme parks of what they want to see. But it just seems like Disney's just in panic mode and they don't know what to do, because every time they do their earnings call where they talk about money that's being made, it is the theme parks that are keeping that company afloat. So why would you mess with something that is your money maker? Why would you want to change it up in hopes that it would maybe it'll bring more people in? But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. It's also going to look terrible.
It's going to look awful
for almost a year, especially when they're doing the construction, because the Magic Kingdom is going to be nothing but a big wall for over half the park there. So it's like, are people even going to go for that whole time you're like doing construction? It's a lot to think about. They already lost $1 billion on that hotel. Star Wars hotel. I mean,
yeah, good job on that one, Disney.
Let's see how further they can go with all this stuff.